I don't know how many of you are aware. There are far worse things that occur in this world than just dying. There are far worse things. The fact that, and what I'm getting ready to say, one thing a lot of people do these days that really drives me insane is they lie by omission. They tell half truths or white lies, which is nothing more than a full fucking lie. Um, they lie by omission and they leave certain parts out that really need to be put in with what they're talking about. I don't do that shit. I never do that shit. That gets people killed. It gets you where you're at right now. Um, please remember that up until the withdrawal from Afghanistan, I was a fucking Democrat. I was a lifelong Democrat. People forget that about me a lot. I was pretty damn liberal most of my life, despite being in the military. I was a Navy corpsman for 12 years, the age of 8404. We're in tree center today. Served overseas in Afghanistan, went 3 times. It was the 15th MEU when the shit popped off. I was in Darwin, Australia when 9/11 happened. Let me remind you about that real quick if you guys forgot about this one. 19 people who entered this country legally over 30 different times through over a dozen ports of entry pulled off 9/11. 19 motherfuckers. That's worse than dying to me. Because that wasn't a one-time thing. That happened 3 times before 9/11. I don't know if you guys remember this too. The bombing of the U.S. embassies in Dar es Salaam in Kenya in 1998. And then 2 years later, the USS Cole got bombed. I had friends on that boat. And now you guys worry about narco terrorists and some shit fucking VA nurse got killed up there. I don't give a fuck about that guy. You know why? Because 140,000 fucking veterans have died since September 11, 2001 from suicide. We lost 9,000 to the war, 140,000 to suicide. And one shit talking fucking nurse got dealt with properly. Yes, but he wasn't a nurse aboard at that point. Okay, you don't do that shit. You're concealed carrying, and you're attacking cops. That's man. That's worse than. Dude, anything that they ever even try to say about anything that anyone negative trying to say about like either Mike Brown or Trayvon Martin, any of that. What that dude, that was far worse than anything mistake that Trayvon could have made or anything like that. That shit was asking for that shit. And you know, there's one other thing you guys don't seem to understand. What you're dealing with right now is this is the last part of the calm. If the Insurrection Act gets brought into, you're gonna be dealing with like Marines and shit with like embassy type Marines who guard embassies. Okay, that's what you'll be dealing with. If you're not aware, this is not like we're still pretty pissed off about what happened in Afghanistan. We're still pretty fucking pissed off about that bullshit. And what a lot of you don't realize is your drug habits, your dope habits, all kind of bullshit back here at home. How you're basically funding the war. You're funding the Taliban's insurgency against us for like about 10, 15 years. After Bin Laden got killed in 2010, that last 9 years was pretty much funded by the American dope game. You guys aren't really aware of that either. But I don't give a fuck. I do give a fuck. That's the thing. But I'm so glad that someone was smart enough to make the oath to the Constitution, not the citizens, because the citizens ain't worth a shit anymore. Y'all really aren't. You're not a dick. You're not worth a dick. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Look up derivative rights. Look up there's so many. Just the very first day. This was the most insulting thing. October 15, 2001 is my first time like, on the ground. I was actually in Pakistan first. I went up this way. We had to get the Air Force in and all that kind of stuff. We were like creating security. And I got to get actually into the country, not getting destroyed. And then we went and built Camp Rhino. The first thing you motherfuckers did back here is you don't have to worry about Americans having their rights taken away. You give them away. The Patriot Act, there was privacy gone. The Oklahoma City building when it got bombed by Timothy McVeigh back in the day, that was pretty much what's it called name blank habeas corpus. Anytime a building falls in this country, you motherfuckers just give your rights away. That happened about a year after 1996. It was a bipartisan thing too. It was the Newt Gingrich's whole New Deal with America kind of bullshit. That's why you now have about 500,000 Americans sitting in pretrial confinement every single day, every fucking day. About 500,000 Americans sitting in pretrial confinement, and you're worried about some illegal motherfucker. We're sitting in a. I'm worried about the veterans that are on the streets right now. How about them? I'm worried about them. I'm worried about the fact that 45 more of my fucking veteran brothers are gonna kill themselves today. 45 more. That 22 number is bullshit. That's a VA number. Don't trust the VA for shit. If you dude, if you wouldn't be mad at federal agencies, be mad at the fucking VA. Be mad at the fucking VA. That 120 to 140,000 are dead. 9,000 from a war, but 140,000 from our own fucking hands. Because this weak ass bullshit like you guys are pulling right now, this is nonsense. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Death ain't shit, man. Death is a welcome reprieve from a lot of bullshit. A loss of dignity, a loss of trust. That's a motherfucker. have literally had my hands like people before it that are still here because of that what I could do. But I come home and I break these glasses. The VA won't send me a new pair to my house directly because they're afraid I'll break the fucking hinge off if I try to put the lens back in myself. I've had I've had human body, dude. It's the fucking confidence without comprehension. It pisses me off more than anything. You all are fucking dumb. You go and do what you're doing on. You have no idea what that document actually means. You guys didn't even realize that the First Amendment. How many things? Tell me. Wait. If you want to comment on this, if anybody sees this, I'll give you 2 minutes to tell me all the things that are brought in the First Amendment. Just the First Amendment alone. Look it up too if you want to. I'll start telling you. One is freedom of the press. One is freedom of religion. One is freedom of speech. One is freedom to assemble, and one is freedom to redress. It's the redress one you probably won't understand the most. That's if you have a grievance with the government, which I do. I have a major grievances with the government. But as a veteran, I really don't have that. I can't sue them like you can. To this day, never will be able to. The VA, I've been waiting. The claim I have for increase in service connection right now, that claim is older than fucking COVID. And it's still under a remand appeal, and they're still doing it illegally. But I have to do what the fuck I'm going to do. I just, what the fuck? I still have to have. No other choice. They took so long on this fucking claim. I didn't file for Social Security. I think I was going to need it anytime soon. But I didn't think they were going to take so long that my work quarters would expire. I worked for 32, 35 years almost. My work quarters have expired because that's all. There's nothing I can do about it. Nothing. I can't file for SSDI now. I have to wait until I'm old enough to file for social. Or I can file for SSI, but I'm going to be losing a shit ton of money that I've already paid into the system. Because you can't have one federal system ruling against you for a technicality and think the other one's not going to do the exact same thing. And I can't wait another 8 goddamn years for another fucking VA appeal. The comparisons you all are making to the Weimar Republic and fascism, you're so fucking stupid. The thing is, the fact you're still able to do what you're doing right now, that I'm able to do this right here, that's a proof that the system is working. The government, the Constitution is a living fucking, it's a living document. It's breathing right now. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do, and you don't even realize that that's what's happening right now. There's so many checks and balances in place. There's no regime change is going to happen. It's not going to happen. You have the most stable military in the entire fucking world. You forget all about that too. They're still under civilian control. There's some times where the military should have taken over, like winning wars. That'd have been nice every now and again. You have no idea like how your behaviors, how your short attention spans. Well, the problem is I'm not getting this shit with you motherfuckers. I've said the same shit for I bitched about the same thing for 15 straight fucking years, and it's still going on. My friends are still committing suicide. The VA fucking sucks. It's always sucked. You guys always talk about wanting a single payer healthcare system. What the fuck do you think the VA is? It's been around for a century. It hasn't worked for 5 fucking minutes. Ever. It's like there's nothing new under the sun with you motherfuckers. It's the same old bullshit all the time. It's the same. Bleh. Right now, the biggest threat to the Constitution is the people. You are a domestic threat to that motherfucker right now with the shit you're doing. Interfering with lawful, what they're doing is not, it's not illegal. You may not think it's right, but it's not illegal. You know, just because, dude. And it's the lying by omission part. That is the shit that drives me insane because you know you're fucking doing it, or you're just, or maybe you don't. You're only watching one news source. That's just fucking retarded. If you want to find what you're looking for, if you want to find the thing that if you want something that agrees with you or disagrees, you easily find it. So no, I don't know. But the thing is, my worry for I'm not worried about you guys. All you brought upon whatever happens, that happens because you just what you brought it to. You're not gonna have much fun with active duty tours. They're gonna fuck you up. They're not like ICE, and they're not like the National Guard. You start doing motherfuckers back in the combat, they're just over this bullshit. We've had no fucking peace since coming home, none, because of you motherfuckers. To see 12 Marines, a Navy corpsman, and a soldier die the second to last day of that fucking war, and nobody was held accountable for it. Nobody. except for one Marine. He said something about it afterwards, and he had nothing. He wasn't there at all. He just spoke his mind. He spoke his mind. He's I don't know if you guys even remember this. It was 3 weeks ago when certain members of Congress and the Senate said that to remind active duty members about obeying law, disobeying lawful, unlawful orders, that kind of bullshit. You see how quick that narrative snapped and went away real fast. You know why? Because fucking the military, active duty military and veterans got that bitch in a heartbeat. No, man, you're not doing this shit. You're not gonna bring us into your bullshit. They keep trying to do it. They keep trying to bring us into your nonsense. This is not gonna happen. Um, there are no conspiracies in this fucking country. The people that the leaders too stupid to hold a conspiracy. And everything that's going on in Minnesota right now, that is all related to that goddamn Somali fraud bullshit. Let me remind you who the Somalis actually are. You remember Captain Phillips and the whole Maersk, Alabama, all that kind of bullshit. Black Hawk down. My brother was he ran the Mogadishu mile. If you guys even know what the fuck that is. Yeah. These things that you think are so far away are just wherever that happens to the people. It's only 1% of us are service in our nation's military anymore. So most people don't even know a veteran anymore. Know a veteran anymore. We come from the same place as always, the Midwest and the South. It's always been the Midwest and the South. Some California kids. Northeast too. My great grandfather got here in 1862 or 1861. I'm sorry. 3 weeks later, he was conscripted into the Union Army. He went. He left out of not Cork. Where the Beatles are from, Liverpool. I left out that area. Is that the right one? I think it is. And he was starving to death when he left there because the whole Irish potato famine was coming to an end. It was at the tail end of that, but that wasn't really the Irish potato famine. That was the genocide of the Irish people by the English crown. That's what that was. I don't know if you guys are aware of that or not. Yeah, history is funny because just odd misnomers everywhere. Like the Barbary pirates were actually those state sanctioned slavery in North Africa. State sanctioned. Arabs mostly, Arabs and Africans mostly, and they kidnapped for about 200 years prior to the transatlantic slave trade started. They would go as far north as Iceland. They just snagging people, white people. You guys are aware they're not. NVIDIA's $100 billion opening. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, that happened. I don't know if you guys are aware that the whole slave itself is the word Slavic. Yeah, it happened to white people a lot. It really did. It has nothing to do with your skin tone. It has nothing to do with that at all. You guys been locked on that one thing. I just ran all day about this bullshit. I'm just so fucking tired of it. There are so many things in this country that are far worse. So many things in life that are far worse than losing it. You can. I've never had PTSD a day in my life from it didn't happen over there. Nothing at all. No, it's not. It's coming home to this motherfucker. Deploying is just not. It's not safe. It's dangerous. But coming home, that's been the most dangerous thing ever. Coming home, surviving that shit's been the most dangerous thing ever. Coming home and dealing with the VA. And you motherfuckers decide all of a sudden that everyone's racist. Why is it okay? So why is it that Memphis and DC, which are predominantly black cities, I have no problem with that offshore right now. They actually they praise them a shit ton. Like not too long after they got there, like holy crap, there's no more gunfire. There's no more murders in the street. The violent crime is down. Kids are out in the streets playing. And all mostly white state like Minnesota, mostly white city like Minneapolis. You motherfuckers, you're everything's white supremacy and racism now. But nobody's got that on camera anywhere, though. Everything in the world gets caught on camera except for all this blatant white supremacy and racism and all kind of bullshit. Why is that? Because you're lying. That's why. That's not even like a truth by omission, lying by omission. That's just a fucking straight up lie because it doesn't happen anymore. The closest thing to that was that the Jews will not replace this shit in Charlottesville, which is I'm not too far from there, 2017. But you guys treat them like a motherfucker with the whole from the river to the sea. I mean, they just didn't want to be replaced. You guys are talking about genocide the whole people. Oh. I don't know. I used to be on your side, but not after Afghanistan, man. Unfuck yourselves. We'll do it for you. I promise.